Arsenal right now are well and truly back. Touch wood, it stays like this. But Arsenal just dismantled Sporting CP away from home in Lisbon with a dominant, perfect 5-1 performance, arguably one of our best performances of the season. But it wasn't just the goals from Martinelli, Havertz, Saka, Gabriel, Trossard that had the fans speaking. Ødegaard was arguably my man of the match, maybe followed by Bukayo Saka. But in third place for me, very close to Thomas Partey, who had yet another elite performance, was Jurrien Timber. Jurrien Timber, back from an ACL injury, is delivering one of his best performances since joining Arsenal, and every performance he had, even off of the Nottingham Forest performance, is simply outstanding right now. It took Timber just 7 minutes to make his mark into the game, picking up the ball on the right. He drove forward, beautiful pass by Declan Rice, and delivered a pinpoint, amazing low cross for Martinelli's simple tap-in that got the ball rolling. That assist was his first of the Champions League campaign, but boy oh boy was he special. And a huge thing that this assist kind of showed is one thing we've been knowing recently is now with no Ben White for the next 8 weeks, minimum apparently to Mikel Arteta, what stands out about Ben White is that he's really good at driving forward, making the right hand side of Ødegaard and Saka look really good, but also very good defensively. Or Jurrien Timber can mimic that perfectly. Jurrien Timber's ability to combine defensive solidity with his attacking precision. At times, he's not even a right back. He just looks like a number 8 when Arsenal has the ball. Really comfortable on the ball, arguably better on the ball than Ben White. I'd say even a better overlapping fullback sometimes than Ben White, although I still think it's a bit too early to say that. But Jurrien Timber right now against Sporting had arguably one of the best performances I've ever seen from him, if not his best ever Arsenal performance. And defensively, Timber, surprise, surprise, was flawless. He neutralized Sporting's wingers, kept them pinned back, and allowed Bukayo Saka to stay high and wide on the counter-attacks. A tactical cheat code that has Arsenal fans, including me, absolutely thrilled. Just imagine if Timber had been fit last season. Many fans, including me, believe that would have maybe had us win the league. And based on tonight's performances, it's really hard to argue that. You think back to last season when we had our struggles, particularly in the first half of the season, it was mainly with the fullback positions, especially left back. But where can Timber play? Well, Timber can play basically wherever you like. He can play as a DM, he can play as a centre back, he can play as a right back, he can play as a left back, he can play as a central midfielder. Heck, I believe he could play as the 8 for the Arsenal midfield if absolutely needed. Jurrien Timber on the board is amazing. Defensively, he was flawless against Sporting, and offensively, I mean, that assist alone was outstanding. It wasn't just a normal pass, it was a beautifully curled pinpoint low cross to find Martinelli. And like I already mentioned, but the fact that Jurrien Timber is putting in performances like this, one against Nottingham Forest, the one now against Sporting Lisbon, heck, I can go on throughout the whole season. He's really been putting in good performances. Even when Arsenal play bad, for the most part, Jurrien Timber puts in a good performance. You guys must remember, Jurrien Timber is doing all of this coming off of an ACL injury, and this being his first season in a top 5 league, his first season playing for Arsenal, and he's coming off of an ACL injury, and he's doing so well in so many different positions. Jurrien Timber as an athlete is outstanding to come back from an ACL injury the way he has. He hasn't lost a step. He's not scared of getting in the challenge despite his knee. He hasn't even lost a burst of pace. We've got ourselves an alien. Athletically, he's an alien. On the board, he's amazing. Defensively, he's outstanding. Tactically, he's outstanding. He has so much versatility. And again, this performance against Sporting, I mean, I know he got an assist, but you look at the stats that he had from the game, it was a world-class performance from Jurrien Timber. And the fact that he isn't even man of the match in most people's eyes, including mine, just shows how good Saka and Ødegaard were. Even Thomas Partey, you could say. I mean, you just look at his stats from the game. Obviously, he got the 1 assist, 57 out of 61 accurate passes being 93%, 3 chances created from right back, 84 touches, 1 catch in the opposition box, 2 out of 2 successful dribbles from right back, 8 passes into the final third, 8 passes into the final third, 1 out of 1 accurate crosses, that obviously being his assist. Then he had a clearance, a headed clearance, 2 interceptions, 5 defensive actions, 1 recovery, 1 dribble pass only the whole game, 4 out of 6 ground duels won being 67%. He was even fouled once, and he's only 23 years old. We've seen it before with right backs. My mind goes back to Hector Bellerin, but when Bellerin got his ACL injury, he never quite came back the same. And I think I made a video, I can't really remember, but I think I made a video about 6 months ago speaking about the worry for Jurrien Timber with his ACL injury, that he might not come back the exact same. But he hasn't come back the exact same. No, he's actually come back better, and off of his performances so far this season, it's really hard to argue, and this may be reactionary, but it's really hard to argue that Jurrien Timber isn't a at least top top 3 right back in the world right now. With him back in the squad, with Thomas Partey playing as well as he is, with Martin Ødegaard playing as well as he is, with Bukayo Saka just being levels above the rest, and this team finally starting to take shape. I said this after the international break that with everyone coming back, there is a possibility we could start scraping through and get ourselves closer to Liverpool in the table. And again, it may be very reactionary, but with Jurrien Timber playing like this and the versatility he brings, if we can keep him fit, Arsenal's ambitions for silverware this season just have become a little bit more realistic. Jurrien Timber's performance against Sporting wasn't just a decent performance, it was a reminder of the quality he brings to the team. And if he's capable of keeping this up post ACL, imagine what's next in 2 or 3 years time when the ACL is a distant memory. Do you think Jurrien Timber is arguably the best right back in the world right now? Let me know in the comments below.